Yo, what's up? So I've been thinking long and hard today about whether or not I should make this video, right? And it's crazy because, like, I'm like, damn, man, I don't really want to out this shit. But then I'm like, yo, if that person doesn't give a fuck how I feel or what I got going on in my life, why should I care about theirs? You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to tell you about the situation, right? So I got out of jail last April, right? And I came from a rehab, went into a halfway house, and one of my homeboys who was in the program already put me on with a dude to work, right? I got to the halfway house on a Thursday. I started working on Saturday. It was only supposed to be part-time, but yo, me and the dude clicked, and he seen how hard I worked, right? And I stayed with him. And I've been with that dude, working for his company, all the way since April last year, right? Only time I miss any days is if I got caught or anything, right? Well, I also got very close with this person. I asked him to be my sponsor, right? Super blessing, right? I've accredited so much stuff to how close I was with my sponsor, like how much I've accomplished and stuff like that, and how I've grown. I attributed a lot of that to my relationship with him and the job, you know? So, anyways, over the course of the last 18 months, like, me and this dude got close. I'm with him every day, you know what I mean? Every day. And on the weekends, especially during the summertime, yo, I come over, I mow the grass, you know what I mean? I'm doing anything to, you know what I mean, make a dollar the right way and not go back to that lifestyle, you know what I'm saying? And the whole time I've been going to NA. But I got diagnosed with glaucoma back in 2020, right? I knew I was gonna smoke weed for the rest of my life. So like I came into the NA program knowing that, you know what I mean? But it's called California Clean. My goal was to not do hard drugs, you know what I'm saying? Not, you know what I mean? If you want to count weed as a drug, fine. But you know what I mean? Like, yo, I have a prescription for it. And I told him that, you know what I'm saying? I told him that more than a year ago. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, this is my sponsor. And after I told him, I still went and did the third step. You know what I'm saying? I've been slacking on the steps, you know what I'm saying? But I've just been working a lot, you know what I mean? But I go to the meetings, you know what I'm saying? He sees me at the meetings every week, you know what I mean? And anyways, so y'all know, like, the past couple months, like, whatever fucked up, you know what I mean? I lost a place, ended up having to find a new place, you know what I mean? My girl went to rehab, she's doing good, you know what I'm saying? But, like, a lot of shit's been going on, you know what I'm saying? Like, but the whole time, I haven't ever wanted to get high, you know what I'm saying? That's never been even an option, you know what I'm saying? And, but anyways, I've been going through all that. And like I said, of course, my sponsor knows, you know what I'm saying? Because I work with him every day. And, you know what I mean? Nothing's changed about anything about how he's worked, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just been the same routine for the past 18 months. So, anyways, I had the trip to Atlanta that I was supposed to go to this past weekend, right? So, on Tuesday, or on Monday, I asked if there was any side work I could do. You know what I mean? Like I said, I had just mowed their grass the day before, right? And I had asked his wife, right? Was there any side work I could do? Because we're going to Atlanta. So she was like, yeah, matter of fact, a bunch of trees just fell over somewhere in my neighbor's yard. Y'all could do that. I'm like, oh, sweet, right? I'm just trying to make a couple extra $100 before we go. So I was like, we'll come through when we get off work today. So we got off, we had to, Amin had a meeting he had to go to, so we went there afterwards. So we got to our house about 5:15. You know what I mean? There was one chainsaw. The other chainsaw, the chain had got bent before, like on previously. So anyways, my sponsor said, yo, just take the chainsaw in the morning to get it serviced, right? I'm like, all right, cool. Because he had just got it. So anyways, we cut the trees up. There was another chainsaw, cut the trees up, get as far as we can, that chain goes off, right? So I'm like, fuck it. I hit up the wife, and I'm like, yo, fucking, hey, we got the one cut up in the neighbor's yard, blah, blah. I'm taking the equipment tomorrow to Grand Rental, because the chains came off in the morning, so tomorrow we'll be able to finish it. This is all in text messages, right? Oh, okay, cool. Bring me the receipt from Grand Rental. So I'm like, I text back and say, I guess she was going to pay me back for it. And I was like, nah, you don't have to do that. It's on my sponsor's account, right? So, anyways, she's like, oh, okay. That's awesome, right? hey, I wrote y'all down for an hour and a half tonight. Now, when I seen that, I was like, damn. Because I was trying to get paid, you know what I mean, by the job. This is side work and shit like that. But I hadn't said that, right? So I text back and I was like, damn, I was hoping to get paid by the job. We was actually trying to make some money before we went to Atlanta. But that's a lack of communication on my part. I'll still come finish tomorrow, right? That's all I said. The next text message comes and it says, I don't remember authorizing you to work on our equipment, to get our equipment serviced. And I was like, I just noticed the tone. I was like, whoa, where the fuck did that come from? You know what I'm saying? So I text back and was like, oh, I talked to your husband. He said to take it in the morning. That's what he told me to do, right? Then comes back, oh, I'm just going to settle up with you in the morning. I don't want you working in my yard anymore. I didn't know you were using again. I'm like, what? She's like, yeah. I was like, using what? I don't use. She said, pot. I was under the impression you were clean. And I said, my response was, notice how the whole conversation's unchanged too? Like, you know what I'm saying? All when I just asked, just because I said the thing about the money for the hours, and I didn't even say it disrespectful, did I? I said, yo, like, obviously miscommunication on my part, I'll still do it. All in the same text message. And since then, this is how it's changed, right? So, I said, yo, when she said the thing about, I thought you were clean, I said, yo, I am clean. Don't disrespect me. I don't disrespect you. Don't disrespect me. I came a long way. Like, I was like, yo, I've smoked pot this whole time. Your husband knew. Like, you're acting like I'm going to steal your lawnmower or something. You know what I mean? So at the time, I text my boss. I'm like, yo, man, I don't know what's going on with your wife, but she's talking to me real disrespectful, man. I didn't do nothing to deserve that, man. I don't like that shit, right? Don't hear nothing back, right? The next morning, I get a text. And I try to call, no answer. The next morning, I get a text message. What time are you gonna be here, man? We need to talk. I text back, I'm like, man, you gotta fire me for this dumbass shit, man? So when I get there, he comes out and he's like, man, something about you just that's my wife's boundary. I'm like, bro, she's acting like I'm gonna steal her chainsaw. I got your company credit card and everything. I'm over here asking for work, bro. And he was like, oh well, you know, your performance, like yo, he's never ever said anything to me. No, to me or ever said anything about, hey man, da da da. I had spilled some paint the other week. You know what I mean? One time, one was coming out the back of the cab. The thing had somehow didn't close and it opened up while we was driving. I didn't even realize it was us till we first got there. I'm looking like, who the fuck did that? I'm like, oh shit, I see the trail. Got it up, right? Got it up. And he was right there, you know what I'm saying? Obvious accident. Like, never said nothing like, oh, this is because you're high on weed. No, nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, he's known that I've smoked this whole time. I haven't done nothing different than what I've been doing. Except I've been going through this other shit at home. You know what I mean? Like all the bullshit, but through it, like I've stayed clean. I've stayed loyal to like the program and him. You know what I mean? Like fucking, I haven't done nothing different. So like, he's like, oh well, you know what I mean? Coming to work like smelling like, or coming to job smelling like weed. I'm like, and the whole time I'm thinking like, yo, one of the other guys works for us. Literally, you sit in the car with him at lunchtime. I've been in the car with you while he takes gravity bongs before going back in the fucking job. Like, that's what's going on. Like, there's already, like, the weed thing has never, ever been an issue. You know what I'm saying? I haven't done nothing wrong. I was over there cleaning up. I was over there doing side work to get extra money. I'm not out here selling drugs to get extra money or robbing nobody, man. And he knows that, right? So then we go to the job. He knows we need the job. You know what I'm saying? He said, oh, you could just take off. Like, he knows we need the job, man. We just got a place. I got bills. My girl's in rehab. You know what I mean? He's got child support. There's shit going on. We need the job. You know what I'm saying? So then we get to the job, and Amin goes out to him and says, hey, bro, like, cause I was hurt, man. I'm hurt because I'm like, yo, like, this is somebody I looked at. You're my sponsor. This is somebody I looked at as family, man. I haven't done nothing wrong. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing the same thing I've been doing, except I started an LLC and I've been starting a business and I got an EIN. Like, who the fuck gets high or whatever you're trying to assume or say, and goes to the gym and goes and gets an EIN at LLC. That's not what you do. And he knows that, right? But now, ever since this thing with this, like that, so now we're at work, and I mean, he's like, bro, man, dude's, man, he's hurt, man. Fuck, he's hurt, man. You're his sponsor too. You should probably go talk to him. He's like, I can't keep defending y'all to my wife. Like, what are you talking about? Like, you know what I'm saying? He's like, then he tells him, man, you're trying to sabotage my business. And I mean, looks at him, he's like, bro, is that really what you think, man? Is that what you think? He was, and then Steve Bucks talked about, oh, you want to quit? You want to quit? And he's just looking at me, he's like, yo, is that what you want me to do? You know what I'm saying? Like, you're trying to get a rise, because if we quit, you can't get unemployment. You know what I'm saying? And that's not even in the cards for what we're trying to do. Like, this is out of nowhere. Like, yo, we haven't done fucking nothing. You know what I'm saying? So, Amin comes up to the bathroom where I'm painting, and he was like, yeah, bro, we'll probably have to put out 2 weeks. My sponsor follows him up the steps and fucking is like, oh, I think y'all should just go home for the day, da-da-da-da-da. So I'm like, man, all this, man, over your... I was like, man, you think I'm getting high? He said, oh, I know the sign. I said, man, you think I'm getting high, man? Get the fuck out of here, man. All behind your wife, man. Drop your fucking nuts, man. But, see, I know. I haven't done nothing. But this is deeper than that. Because, see, I do stuff on narcissistic abuse. I do stuff on that. You know what I mean? So, I had to tell him a couple weeks ago, I was like, listen, bro, what's happening with you? That's abuse, bro. Every year you have your fucking 4th of July thing. You take pride in that. You like doing that. I just did it with you last year. You were like, man, then we do this every year, da-da-da-da-da. Like, yo, that's your thing. But no. You know what the wife did? Oh, I don't want to be here for that, and left. And then when he texted her and told her that, oh, I'm fucking over it, I'm glad I'm not there. It's abuse, right? Yo, his son was working there. All of a sudden, the shit flipped on him, and he left. Right? It's isolation and abuse. And I told him that. I said, bro, what's happening to you? Like, man, it's still abuse, bro. Just because it's not physical, it's abuse. This was my friend. This was my, someone I cared about. I considered family. I told him that weeks ago. Because I've already seen this happen with other people. I just didn't know it was gonna happen with me. Like I said, I'm over there doing work, trying to help, try to make money the right way. So, anyways, we leave that day. He didn't say we were fired though. So I hit him up and I texted him, I was like, listen, I was mad yesterday, bro. You know what I'm saying? I looked at you as a friend. You know what I mean? If the weed thing at work is an issue, fine, we won't smoke. Right? We won't smoke. But yo, that other shit was wrong, man. I've came a long fucking way, and if you had any issue with anything that was happening with that, if you thought I was fucking up at work or anything, to never ever say anything, right? To never say nothing, and then for this to happen, and then so I go to my NA meeting, right, on Sunday night. I see him. He gives me a hug. I'm like, man, my bad, man. Like, I love you, man, right? We go outside. First he says, oh, well, he was like, man, it's just messed up. Like, you know what I mean? Now I'm in a position with my wife, and, you know, she's talking about doing drug screens to everyone there now, random drug screens. And I was like, bro, you can do that. I have a medical pass. I have glaucoma, bro. You've known that. And he was like, oh, well, you know what I mean? Something like, I was like, yo, man, literally, dude gets high in your driveway every morning. What are you talking about, bro? Like, what are you talking? And then so then the next shot is, he's like, oh, Amin's got a smart mouth. Why? All he did was tell you to come talk to me, bro. I've been on the job when the N-word's been getting flown around and everything, and this man hasn't said one thing except one time, said, don't disrespect me. You know what I'm saying? We ain't caused no problems, man. We're doing exactly what the fuck we're supposed to do, right? And that's what I tell him. I'm like, bro. And then he was like, and I know I'm your sponsor, but you know what I mean? Like, we're just not working the same program. I'm like, bro, what are you? I was like, yo, now you're talking like, I'm like, bro, you've known this the whole time. I'm California clean. There's a reason that's called that. Like, you're taking away from my fucking everything that I've accomplished. Behind what? Behind this? You know what I'm saying? And then he was like, I was like, bro, we have medical passes. You can't do that. I can go in here and fail and it's not going to fucking matter. And he was like, well, I guess you might as well just go to unemployment then. Because that's what I've been saying the whole time. Like, bro, let me know something, man. Like, but I'm still counting on working on. I sent him a text for a weekend. Yo, bro, like, if weed's a thing, fine, we won't smoke. We'll be there Monday then. But yeah, yo, that's what happens with narcissistic abuse. We just don't, the men don't come out and talk about it, but it's narcissistic abuse. Now, because of some emotional shit, because I asked about not getting paid by the hour, I mean, like, literally, the whole conversation, I got all the receipts for all this shit. And like, I hit him today and said, yo, with the unemployment thing, I had to give him a reason I got fired. What do I put, bro? What do I even put? Because, like, yo, so I put that I broke a policy. So in the details, it asked, when was the policy created? Never. When were you informed about it? Never. When were you warned or given any type of... Never. Never. Man, we got fucking lives, man. Lives. You know what the fuck we're going through? And this is why I say my sponsor put me in a high-risk situation. Because you know what I thought last night? You know, when I realized when I got home, because I couldn't even stay for the meeting, I was so mad. You know what I mean? Not even just mad, just hurt, like disappointed, like looking up, like, damn, man, like, where did this come from? You know what I'm saying? Where did this come from? Because there's no explanation he can even give. You never said nothing to me. Like, yo, literally, I drive around and drop, like, I've done he's not even on the job with us most days to say that, like, yo, in the day that he said that we came in there smelling like weed, we didn't have no weed. We were literally didn't have no weed that day. Waiting for his shit to hit, because Cash App hits the day before mine. We didn't even have any weed. But yeah, man. So, like, I'm thinking, like, yo, like, man, maybe I shouldn't make the video. But then it's like, yo, this person doesn't give a fuck about our life. Right? They don't. This person was my friend, my sponsor. I looked at him like family. But you know what his son said? Yo, it's not him. It's not him, bro. This is not him. But I know because I've been there. And I told him that. So yeah, he might not like that I made this. But like, the internet is so big, most of y'all, 99.99999% of people have no idea whose it is. And you didn't give a fuck about my life, so I don't give a fuck about yours. You know what I mean? But the sad thing is, I still got a lot of love for you, man. But yeah, so like, right now I'm just trying to figure out, like, because we're in the same home group and shit, you know what I mean? And I'm about to just go to a meeting and be like, listen, this is what it is. I got glaucoma. You know what I mean? I have a medical pass to smoke. But I set a goal a long time ago to never do hard drugs again, and this program has allowed me to do that. And even though certain people might be saying that I'm not right for the program, or what I've accomplished in the program isn't really real, nah, you're not real. You're not real. So yeah, I'm gonna find a new home group, man, and I'm gonna keep going to these meetings, man, because this shit saved my life. And you know what I thought the other night? I just pictured myself in a jumper. I was looking on SoBusted.com, right? Just looking up to see if anyone I knew had been picked up in the past, like, 2 weeks. I was just bored, you know what I'm saying? Fucking around. And yo, like, later on that night when, like, I left that meeting and I was thinking about this shit, that's what I pictured. I pictured me in a fucking newspaper, in a jumpsuit, and everyone being like, God damn, man, we really thought he had it. We really thought he had it. You know what I mean? But then X, Y, and Z happened. Yeah, my girl relapsed and had to go to rehab. Yeah, my girl lied about a lot of shit, including how much money she had, and I had no idea that it was gone. Yeah. And then, right, We got all that figured out. Meanwhile, still started a new LLC and got everything running right. Right? And while everyone was sitting there thinking, oh, I did some crazy shit, my girl, nah, I've already wrote her letters and fucking I'm going to see her on Saturday. I just wanted her to do the program. So yeah, that's the stuff I went through, and then this happened. And then this happened. But I'm not going nowhere. I'm not fucking this up. And I don't give a fuck how many people do some fucked up shit to try to stop it. Because I'm not doing nothing wrong. I'm not going to pick up the sack. I'm not going to pick up a gun. I'm not going to pick up a fucking drug. I'm going to pick up my pace and just go get it even harder. So yeah. Maybe I'll be in y'all next home group. Stay in touch. Shout out Recovery.